So in order to get that pinion nut off, it was not gonna get off with me putting it on the bench. So what I had to do was I had to use my engine stand. However, my engine stand was taken over by an engine. So what we got her put on that, and I had to take this engine off. I've had this engine on that stand for a while. It's what I call a sweep the floor engine. This engine, I don't want to get off track here, but this little engine case, I rebuilt this many years ago and put new bearings in it, and I think I only ran it for like 3,000 miles, and had a piston ring lock up because I had some moisture get down the cylinder. So I took it apart and cleaned the bearings back up, and I figure why not use it for another project. So we're going to throw some pistons and some new rings on there, and probably, I think on my buggy, I'm going to take the heads off my buggy and probably put those on there, and I've got another set of heads that I want to kind of bore out, maybe bring the compression up on my blue one. So this will be a nice spare parts buggy. It didn't really cost me a thing, just parts that we have laying around, and we'll use it for another project. But anyways, here you go. So we're going to get in here and loosen up. There it is. That pinion nut is cleaned up a little bit better, but we'll get into it. We'll talk more about this later. So let's get going. So the tool of the hour is going to be this guy right here, the Volkswagen pinion nut socket. This is a pretty expensive socket. I don't know what they're going for these days. I think it's like, some places I've seen 300 bucks, but what it does is it fits right on there. As you can see, the little cogs, and you turn it and get that loose. We're going to do that, and we got some clips here. We're going to remove this clip here on the shaft, which of course runs a shaft in here for first and second, and then the reverse, there's a one right here for reverse as well that we got to pull off. All that's got to come off before we can separate this front end and pull it out. Okay, let's get this thing loose. I'm going to have to get some leverage here, otherwise I am not going to be able to get it turned. I think I got it loose. Yep. The reason why that's so tight on there, I can't remember the how many foot-pounds that is on just right off the top of my head, but when it's put on there right, it should be peened so that it kind of stays on. And while I've never built a racing transmission yet, we definitely will want to peen the one we place on our new case, because it will take a beating. This transmission was only designed for roughly around 50 horsepower, 50-60 horsepower. It's amazing you can have a car run on that, isn't it? But to tell you what, sometimes it doesn't take much horsepower to have fun. For instance, the little monkey bike, or not monkey bike, the mini bike that I featured in one of my videos back several months ago. My father and nephew put a little 6.5 horse Briggs on that little thing, and I was amazed at how fast that darn thing went with me on it. Alright, there is our pinion nut. When we put another one on, we'll put a chromoly one on. This is more than likely a stock one. Alright, this is going to be a first for me. I've never done this holding a camera, so we'll see. Oh, man, that's bumming me out. Alright, let's see here. We've got a C-clip right here. See if we can find that thing.
and let me find it and focus on the camera at the same time. Okay, oh, there it is. Alright, slide that baby back right there until we go to pull that out. Alright, we've got our reverse gear right here. Or I'm not sure exactly what we call it. Oh, there we go. I got out of it for a minute. Alright, we got that off. Put that in our parts container. Alright, we should, of course, this thing's been locked up. We should be able to turn the shaft and this should back it out. Alright, this collar should, hopefully it's not rusted, should slide back on that spline. Oh, sweet. I'll be darned. I just knew that was going to be rusted. So you should be able to turn that out. That little collar, if you're not familiar with VW transmissions, will turn this, and that's what gives you reverse. Alright, okay. Alright, I'm going to have to see if I can pull this off while you're looking at it without screwing up something. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to put it on the camera. I'll pull that off in the clip and we'll go from there. Shaft is out. Now we can, I think, I tried to just kind of see if I could nudge that off with the screwdriver, and it is not budging. So when we press this out, usually that will come loose, or something inside will. So we can get to unbolting this guy. I use her magnet. What did I do with it? Let's go get her magnet. Should be about all of them. Now for the pressing out of the pinion shaft, or actually just the whole gear carrier anyways. Little trick that I learned from YouTube, Easy Jeezy, who does a lot of VW stuff. He proposed using one of these, and it is just the right tool, I think, to get in there. It just sits on the back of your case, and right there on the head of the pinion nut, or the pinion itself, and it's the perfect leverage. So let's see if we can split this up. Oh, I'm loosening it. Duh. Righty tighty. Oh, it's moving. We're splitting that right there. Just keep it coming. And I think probably the inside of the reverse gear. Tell you what, that's coming easy now. Switch over to the flathead screwdriver, that way we can manage this a little bit better. Oh, okay. I think it's going to fall right out now. Let's back this thing off. Actually, I'll set it back in here that way. Turn this by hand. Alright. Pull this thing off. Holy smokes. There it is. Nice rusty gear carrier and all. I think it's pretty obvious. There's nothing out here we can keep. I don't prefer this gear here, and the teeth, you can't really see it, but the teeth on it are, even if it was in good shape, they're kind of worn down. Let me get my screwdriver. Yeah, some of those are a little bit worn down. It needed a rebuild anyways, and it may be the reason why it was taken out of service. Might have been popping out of gear. Ugh, it's rough. Alright, and as far as the case goes, let's see here. At least on this end, there's no, of course it's still filthy, but I don't see any corrosion. Oh, by the way, yeah, so here was the reverse shaft, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't really have to get in there and take that circlip off. I forgot that just slides usually. So anyway, okay, well, we still got to figure this out, and I'll tell you what I think so far. So after getting the VW Transaxle taken apart and sort of looking at the case, I have some thoughts. Now, of course, you know the big issue we're running into was the mess we had here with the magnesium corrosion. I think I said earlier aluminum, but no, this is of course magnesium. And anyways, you know, we got to think about what the end game here is, and the end game is to try to make a transmission that I can use to race, that we can put our live axle in and have a good time and not worry about it breaking. With this corrosion being here, you know, to be quite honest with you, the corrosion doesn't scare me. I don't think it's that big. I think once we do a little bit of, you know, some spot blasting, I need to get some more media because I got a little spot on the door that needs some work inside the door frame. And once we get the media, I'm gonna blast this and see what we can get. But that doesn't scare me for a stock build. Keep in mind I said stock build. And of course what we're doing is quite a bit bigger than stock. So I think what we should do is err on the side of caution and not use this for the dragster project. Now I do have an exact match case that has the three nuts there for the clutch bearing. That's what I want. I want that for what we're doing. And this case is a good case. It's got plenty of oil in it. It's got good gears in it, and it shifts fine. I hate to take anything out, but what we might do is we might clean this up, and I got some ideas for that once we blast that. But if everything comes out okay, what we might do is take the gears and the ring gear, the pinion, all that stuff, side covers, whatever, whole carrier, shift, everything that came inside this case, and transplant it into this one, because I think just aside from this, we're gonna be okay for a stock build. Now the end game is to put this live axle here into a transmission, and I just don't think that you want to introduce a place that could potentially crack. Now that's not the side that the ring gear is going to be on, but better safe than sorry. So yeah, what we got here is a live axle, and what we'll end up doing, these are beefier side covers here, and then I'll put a much stronger ring gear and stronger gears in here, and we're not even going to stop there. We're going to go in, and I'm going to make some gussets, and we're going to put a gusset here and even one here. This side really doesn't need it, but
when you run in a mid-engine application, you then bring the ring gear over this side, and the ring gear has a proclivity to want to climb the well, I can't think of the word, the pinion. And so you put a lot of strain up here, and you don't have a lot of ribbing. So we're going to put 2 big gussets there. We may even, this might be overkill, but since we're thinking about using a stock case, might even build a girdle that will hold everything sandwiched in. I think that would be wise. So anyways, this was really fun. I have a good time sort of messing with this sort of stuff. I am no professional on this, and I'm just learning like anybody else that's getting into the hobby, but I think we sort of have the way to go. That way we will have a spare transmission with good gears anytime we need it for something stock. And you know what, if we get this cleaned up and it doesn't exactly work out and I'm a little nervous about it, it's okay. I have another case or two just from an older version that will still work. May never even use the thing, but yeah. Anyways, Milo, the shop cat, is sleepy. I'm sleepy. I've had a big day. I've been traveling with work and going to be traveling again. So it's time to go night-night. So anyways, keep subscribe and keep up with us. I'll introduce that dragster a little bit more in the future. We still have a lot to do on this car. I haven't given up on it. It just takes longer to do this kind of stuff, and I thought today I would play with something else just to gain enjoyment. So keep up with us, and we'll get more to you in the future. Until next video, we'll see you.